favourites for the... This is tenuous. Who are the favourites for the World Cup? And in turn, in those favourite countries, what are their favourite cars? And so we came up with this particular segment, which is called Football Favourites and Their Favourite Cars. And it took me ages to come up with. So I've got the list of what are the top seeds going into. So pot one of going into the World Cup for 2022, and then the most popular car in that country.
So we're talking about units sold.
Units sold.
Yeah.
Units sold. So they're not interesting, but they're also interesting at the same time.
Yeah.
I thought I did this in alphabetical order, but I didn't. So Argentina.
Argentina.
Land of the home, the free, and the beef. Argentina. So they're going into the World Cup as one of the favourites. Name an Argentinian football player.
There's a wee guy, used to play for Barcelona, now plays for PSG. He is called Lionel Messi.
Wrong, it's Frank. Argentina are going in as one of the favourites. Tell us in the comments, are Argentina going to win this year's World Cup? Favourite car of the Argentinian people? Units sold.
I don't know. Go on, tell us.
Is it not in your notes?
It is on my notes, but I've changed that page over.
Oh, nice.
So I could,
No, I like this.
No.
The Fiat Kronos is
Amazing.
the biggest selling car in Argentina this year.
That's
a Fiat Kronos. Now,
okay.
I'd never heard of such a thing. I had to look it up. It looks like this. It's essentially a bit like a Fiat Brava.
Yeah.
It looks crap.
Do you think that's a bit of a language thing? You know how they have to change the names of certain cars to go into different markets?
It's just not. I just don't think it's sold in Europe. If it is, I've certainly not seen it.
Never seen one.
So there you go. One of the World Cup favourites, Argentina, their favourite car. They sell more Kronos than anything else.
You know what, though? I'm actually going to be keeping a wee eye for Argentina this year. A buddy of mine did have to get a bone marrow transplant, and they actually found a match in Argentina. So I would like to thank Diego Maradona. Sorry. Yeah, I had to punch that one in there. Thank you.
I was so sucked in.
You were. That made it so much better. Thank you.
I was like, oh my God, oh, jeez.
Sweet little sentence. Brilliant.
Oh, it must have been bad. We're getting narrative from producer Alex. Fantastic.
He's gone.
Sorry.
Okay, so
You're welcome.
there we go.
Moving on.
No, moving swiftly on. Another favourite? France.
France. Go on.
You can tell it's not in alphabetical order. France, so home of the croissant, the onion, and
Bicycles.
Bicycles and adultery.
Yeah.
France. The World Cup's a great opportunity just to kind of throw kind of hello, xenophobic style stuff out there. I'm joking.
You wonker.
Yeah. Go to the bonk. So France, Pogba's not playing.
No. But their attacking options are just mental.
Mental.
Yeah.
So I think France are going to make it at least to the semis.
That's fair.
Most sold car in France this year?
It is the Peugeot 208.
Yeah. Mark II, I think. But only because the Mark I is a million years old. Peugeot, funnily enough, the top selling car in France is a French car.
Look after your own.
Yeah, so the Peugeot 208, a personal favourite of mine, actually.
Really?
I like the Peugeot 208e, I like the Peugeot 208 GT. I think it's a wonderful little city car. And based on the car alone, I think they should be in the semi-finals. So France, there you go.
How do you double the value of a Peugeot 208?
Don't know.
Fill the tank with petrol.
He's full of them.
Fine. Thank you. Yeah.
Coming to a working men's club near you soon.
Bit of blue for the dads.
Brazil. Brazil. Land of samba. Meat. That big Jesus statue.
Yeah. And beaches.
Oh, yeah, many
Beach.
beaches. Many
Beach
beaches.
is...
Yeah. So Brazil, South American country, so same continent as Argentina, which is a little known fact. Brazil. Favourite car in Brazil? Or most sold car this year by units that I could find quickly without really researching?
Yes, the Fiat Strada.
The Fiat Strada. Now, interesting, because Fiat seem to sell a lot of cars in South America. The Fiat Strada, my dad used to own a Fiat Strada in the 80s. He owned 2 of them. They were both crap. But it's a different kind. The Fiat Strada here, hatchback. The Fiat Strada in Brazil is a pickup truck.
Interesting.
Which, if you're watching this, you'll see this now.
Yeah, but there has to have been some form of Fiat Strada since, late 70s, early 80s? Something like that?
Yeah, so the Strada that my dad had was a Strada in the late 70s and early 80s.
Yeah.
Late 80s, in fact.
But, that is amazing that one's a hatchback in Europe and, it's a pickup.
Pickup truck over there, so there you go.
I'm a bit disappointed in Brazil. I would have thought it would have been the Towboat Samba as their best car.
Really?
Tell it, producer Alex, and that is one to look up and put onto this pod. It is phenomenal. If you can
maybe
think
Google it with safe search on.
No, if you can find you will find a picture of one. If you can imagine a car that looks less like it should be called Samba, it's this.
Right.
It's phenomenal.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Fiat are also the best-selling brand in Brazil. Not just the Strada, but the overall brand as well.
Yeah. It's a little bit of favouritism towards France there.
What? Fiat are Italian.
Also, they are. Sugar. What am I thinking of then?
Peugeot.
Yeah, Peugeot. Yeah.
England are in amongst the favourites.
They are.
Based on their seeding.
Just the fact they always play like the local blind school.
Are you well?
Qualifier.
Yeah, exactly. Are you well seeded? I've got 2 lovely children. It's an IT crowd reference, if you don't know.
Was, yeah.
Top selling car in the UK this year, and this actually took me. I had to do the UK because they don't break it down by England, Wales, Scotland, just Northern Ireland. Before we all go mad. The Nissan Qashqai.
I like it. Yeah, I'll accept that. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't buy one. Just not my thing. But it's booted the Vauxhall Corsa off the top stop this year so far. I don't know how many.
How many Corsas are they going to sell in the
between
last
now and the end of the year?
6 months. Yeah, 6 weeks. Yeah.
The Nissan Qashqai. So it is the top selling car in the UK. Unfortunately, we can't find the figures breaking it down to what the top selling car in England is. But given on population and the fact that there are more English people than anywhere else on the planet, on the island,
I'm going to say a safe bet.
it's a safe bet that it's the top selling car in England. So the Nissan Qashqai. Spain is a top. We're making our way through this segment quite nicely. Spain. A little bit of Spain. Top selling car in Spain?
It is the Hyundai Tucson.
Tuscan.
Yeah.
The Hyundai Tuscan, which is basically not a Qashqai, but it's a 4x4 SUV, which we all know.
Yeah. Surprised me, but you can apparently pick one up for about 27 grand.
Yes, so it makes sense. It makes sense. So there you go. Among the top seeds for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, Spain's top-selling car this year so far is the Hyundai Tucson.
What do you call a Hyundai at the top of a hill? A miracle?
This is part of the segment I didn't realise was going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm
You
enjoying
were just horrific jokes.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, okay.
Next to Spain?
Quite a few things.
Portugal. Portugal's right next door. They are also one of the top seeds. As we record this, Cristiano Ronaldo has gone mental. Absolutely bonkers, isn't he?
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
I have, yeah.
I never thought it would. I've got lots of opinions on Piers Morgan, but he looks kind of tame compared to what Ronaldo. What is Ronaldo drinking?
Yeah, he's definitely on something. Now, I would also point out Piers Morgan is an Arsenal fan and will do a lot of things to wind up Man U fans.
Yes.
It has been announced as well, just before we went on to record this, Ronaldo is going to be fined £1 million for his comments.
Oh, I did not know that.
Put this into perspective, that's 2 weeks' wages.
Oh, yeah, he's minted, isn't he, to be fair? 2 weeks' wages, £1 million. But he's going to the World Cup to play for Portugal.
He is.
And when he comes back, he will be playing for Paris Saint-Germain.
He will
I can imagine he will not be playing for Man United after he decided to torpedo his career at that particular club.
We'll chat of him going to London club Chelsea.
Oh, we won't do that. Oh, we might do that. Tell us in the comments.
Champions League football.
It's Champions League football. Anyway, top selling car in Portugal?
Yeah, the Peugeot 2008.
2008, that's right. The SUV version of the Peugeot. Portugal aren't going to win the World Cup. Discuss? No chance.
Don't have a striker.
They don't. Yeah, they don't have a striker. Belgium.
Oh,
This is a tough one.
it is a tough one because you've just written down a brand. We don't have.
I could not find the biggest selling model of car for 2022 in Belgium.
Come on, Tintin, sort it out.
Yeah. So, or Poirot would also do. Home of
Poirot.
the saxophone. It's the same. It means the same thing.
There you go.
Just my surname's the Italian word, and Poirot is the French version of it.
Like Fiat.
Not Fiat.
Excellent.
Fiat is French for car.
Excellent.
The biggest selling brand in Belgium this
Go
year,
on.
the VW.
That's nice that
BMW
they can forgive.
But I'll tell you what I did find out while researching this.
Yeah.
Not heavily. The biggest selling car brand in Belgium last year was BMW. And this year so far it's Volkswagen. It's probably something like a Polo.
Yeah.
But Belgium is one of those nothing countries. I enjoy Belgium. I spent a lot of time in Brussels over the years and other bits of the world.
I think it's fair to say when it comes to footballing terms, they are not quite a nothing country, but they have gone through what England went through in about kind of 2006 of this golden generation. Their time is running out.
Well, they've got Toby Alderweireld in there, who's like 34.
Yeah.
It's the last shot of the dice, isn't it?
Quite a few of them. So we'll see.
Exactly.
I reckon they could get to the quarters minimum.
Yeah, I'd say so. It'd be silly not to. And then Qatar find themselves in the top seeds of teams because they are the host nation.
Yes.
And they are the reigning Asian champions.
They are,
So,
yes.
they're not... We'll see how they go. Do not tune into this. I mean, if you've got to this point, you've watched the whole thing. But this is not going to be our predictions for who's going to win the World Cup. This is just simply what I thought was going to be a little bit of fun, but actually, the more I speak about it, the harder it's getting for me to do.
That's harsh but fair.
It is harsh but fair. Top selling model of car in Qatar. Jeez, it's quite hard to say.
Is the Toyota Land Cruiser.
The Toyota Land Cruiser, which makes perfect sense.
It really does, yeah.
If you've ever been to the Middle East, you've been to any of the Emirates or Saudi Arabia or anything like that, there is a absolute boatload of Toyota Land Cruisers running about.
Well, it's that type of car, isn't it?
Yeah, go
Considering the
anywhere,
conditions,
comfortable.
yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
Can off roads.
Can off-road, very, very, very capable off-road. So there you go.
Won't spit at you like a camel.
No, will not spit at you like a camel. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Toyota Land Cruiser will go a lot further than Qatar will in this tournament. So
I imagine it probably will. Yeah. Based on the top seeds for this year's World Cup, what car do you like that sells the most in that country? Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
do your own homework.
Do your own homework.